concern you, and would you like to see more involvement?
I will say, considering the violence that has gone on in Mexico for the last few years, that is around our border and affecting our people, that there was not any attention given to our issue with Mexico. Yet there is an abundance of attention given to the illegal immigration issue instead of why are they immigrating here? What can we do to solve those problems? Startling.
Very interesting. Any response to that? You want to add to that? Or do you have expansion on that question? Let me then go to Medicare, or Obamacare.
Obamacare.
Mr. Romney's model in his home state seemed to be the one that Mr. Romney's home state, Mr. Obama's Obamacare, seems to be a model of that. And somehow now Mr. Romney doesn't like it. Do you guys understand that or have any feelings about Medicare?
Medicare or Obamacare?
Obamacare.
Sorry. Okay.
I care. You care.
Yeah. We all care.
We all care.
Needless to say, health insurance is one thing that's important to me. I have a pre-existing condition, and I know many others who do. The way I look at it is everyone out there is dealing with something. Not necessarily medically, but having been laid off back in 2008, I have been working part-time jobs since then. I have been paying for my own health insurance. Luckily, I have been able to do so. But I've gone from COBRA to CalCOBRA and recently switched over to the conversion plan just when the HIPAA might, cut into play and everything. I dealt with the issue of, am I going to be without insurance for a couple of months and having to get extra prescriptions from my doctors just in case? And I know I am not the only one out there. I know there are other people out there who are much worse off than I am, who cannot afford what is out there right now. And what really struck me last month when I was going through the bulk of all this, or the end of all this, is when I realized, wow, about 25% of my salary, my gross salary, not my net salary, is going to be going towards health insurance. I will be paying almost as much for my health insurance as I will for my home. And it really put a different look on things for me. So I know there are many people, my parents included, who do not feel Obamacare is necessary, but having had friends who are uninsured and sick and die of cancer, dealing with this myself, having other friends with epilepsy who can't get their own insurance and are on Medicare and stuff, it is something we need. It might not be the perfect solution, but it is a start. I know there are countries out there that have it, such as England and Canada, have something like this. And again, it's not perfect, but we have to start somewhere. So when Romney said cut Obamacare, trust me, that just slashed right through me.
Cut Obamacare, cut taxes. How do you feel about contributing your fair or unfair share of taxes toward the programs that, Obamacare, it's health insurance, health care, Social Security, which we put our money in. How do you feel about those programs? Do you feel that they need to stay in place? Do you feel that they're entitlement programs, or do you feel that they're programs that people have earned the right to have access to? And the other question, just to kind of work on your heart a little bit, are you comfortable having money in your pocket, the ability to do what you need to do? I guess let me put it this way. Would you be comfortable sitting at the table eating and having others sit around and watch you eat? Or do you feel that you have an obligation to someone other than yourself?
Go ahead. You were going to say something.
Oh, I want everybody to talk about that. But let's just start with you, Kanisha. Here.
I think we do have an obligation to our fellow human beings. I think Obamacare is a good thing because I too have a pre-existing condition that's very costly every 5 years, but very costly.
Yeah.
I don't understand how we haven't been able to fix the system that's been broken for a very long time as far as Medicare goes. I work in healthcare. I've seen, trillions of dollars of fraud, and fortunately they're catching up on some of that. But by that time, the company owners have already left the country with their millions of dollars. My question is how we can have the same care for everyone without it becoming labeled as a socialist state. And if it is labeled as a socialist state, so if that's what you're going to call it, if it's going to be semantics that way and that's what you're going to call it for health care, then I would like to know what is wrong with that.
More people? Yes, Sharma.
I would just like to underscore what both of these ladies have said. I think healthcare is critical to your quality of life. And we have to pay taxes. Why not pay for something that supports us? You know, I can't believe that that Romney is essentially saying, look, when you're unhealthy, go to the emergency room. That's my strategy. You know, we are one of the most advanced nations on the earth, and we don't have a support system for, you know, our citizens. I think that's ridiculous, and I think it's unfair to say, well, it was okay for Massachusetts, but it's not okay now. What's the real criticism? And the real criticism is, well, my supporters now on the right don't believe in it. And I don't know what Romney really believes in, but I know that I believe that, you know, when you're part of a community, you have to help lift and support each other. Otherwise, what's the point of living together? So, like you said, you know, some people have pre-existing conditions, and we should not say, well, tough luck, you're on your own. You know, I think, you know, because we live in a community and we have ideals that people look towards that and they want to aspire to, we should be a leader in this area, and we're following other places. And
definitely,
I think it's a shame. And Obama's trying to do something effective, and Romney has not put anything else on the table that, you know, effectively challenges Obama's plan. So, you know, let's see how Obamacare pans out. You know, I think that come 2014, we're going to see some really good changes, and people will be benefiting from the system.
Agree, disagree? Kanisha?
I actually have a question. Maybe you can answer this for me. When Romney talks about his voucher plan, how does that play out? The logistics of the voucher plan. I don't quite understand it. Does anybody know?
Well, let me take a position.
Okay.
First of all, Mr. Romney would not call it a voucher plan.
You're correct.
Yes. He would call it, I'm not sure what, but it's not a voucher plan, but it is a plan that says, here's your money for your health, and it's a certain amount of money. I don't know if everybody gets the same check or if it's on a sliding scale or what, but it is a definite amount of money, and the idea from his aspect is that that money will cover your needs. But if there's something that you need that isn't covered, that's where I get lost. Because it appears that you now will have to borrow some money, do something if you have a house. I don't know exactly what he would do at that point. But it's not a voucher. I can vouch for that.
Okay.
Melissa.
I agree with that. His program appears to turn healthcare into a business. You can't turn healthcare into a business. You can't turn teaching into a business. You can't turn firefighting into a business. There are certain rights that I believe all people should have. I believe that when a person's sick, they should be taken care of. I realize that pre-existing circumstances come into play. I realize that there are situations where there's a single mom with 4 children who lost her job and can't afford to buy them cold medicine so that they can get better. Because of that, I don't understand how the alternative is, here's $10, hope it covers the cost.
It's going to be closer to 15. Come on.
I would hope so.
It's not a voucher. It's a coupon.
Romney says it's profit over people, and I think it should be people over
Now,
profit.
has he actually said that?
In his policies, yes, he has.
Those words?
He has not used those words, but his policies reflect that strategy.
I understand that during this campaign, the final moments of the campaign, this debate in particular, was probably aimed at women, because women, for some reason, have been depicted as those who have not made their minds up yet about the color of I'm sorry, that's not the color of your dress. I mean about who you want to vote for president. Now, can you, any of you, explain to me what it is about this campaign that would leave someone at this point still undecided, and especially for them to push that off on women? No response?
What?
Is there a response?
I believe it's a
Are
negative.
women more inclined to not make their minds up?
It's a negative opinion of women, thinking that we are not capable of making up our minds in enough time and having to come down to the last minute, not forming a valued opinion. Sorry.
I agree, and I think the fact that women are still picked out as a subgroup shows how far women still have to come. Women still only earn 77 cents for a man's dollar.
They really are emphatic about this because we had about a 5-minute conversation about banging on the table. And they bang on the table anyway on this particular subject. It must really mean a lot to you.
It does, because I'm a woman.
So you will be.
But women still have higher poverty rates than men. Women are still more likely to be left with the children without a job. I mean, these are staggering statistics, and I don't understand why the debate didn't touch on this just a little bit more, other than the infamous comments of Binders of Women, in which I have to say he did not put forth any sort of plan on how he would make sure that women can move into the workforce at the same rates as men.
Did anyone, when they heard the statement Binders of Women, kind of think about the little black book? I just wondered, when a guy gives up his little black book as he gets married, that's one thing, but then as you turn it over to your friends, maybe it's interpreted as a binder. I'm not sure. I just wanted to check. Listen, I think we've got just a couple of more minutes. Is there anything that we need to say that hasn't been said, or repeat that needs to be said again? If not, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Oh, there is.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to say one thing because it was from the prior debate. And then President Obama touched on it again tonight, and it's about the $5 trillion in loopholes that Governor Romney can close. And I would like to know, as an American citizen, if he knows there are $5 trillion worth of loopholes somewhere, why isn't he closing them already?
I think
That's excellent.
that's a great question.
Yeah.
That's a great question. Is that what we want to leave with? Where's the $5 trillion loopholes? Did you have a question?
I don't have an answer for that question,
But that's all right.
But I just want to tell everybody to just get out there and vote. For all you young people, you women, minorities, whatever your decision is, just vote, because you'll be mad at the end when the decision pops up and it's not what you wanted. So at least you put your mind out there and you voted for who you wanted. So just get out there, vote. It's very important. Vote.
That's a consensus?
There you go.
Yes, it
Good
is.
job.
As well as being here in California, large population, I'm going to speak on behalf of the Hispanics and the women in general, and the youth. We have the youth between 18 and ages 34 that are not coming out to the polls. We really need them to come out. We need women to stand up for their rights also. We need the Hispanic community to come out and vote strong. Either way, be heard, come out, make a difference.
Vote. Come out.
Do you guys really mean it when you say just vote?
You got to vote.
Just vote? You're not trying to influence the vote? Very good. I'm proud of it. Listen, I want to thank all of you for taking time out to come and join us this evening. I want to thank TVC Latino, and I want to thank West Side Story Newspaper for bringing this to you. And thank you, folks, for listening. God bless you.
A continuación, el último debate de los candidatos a la presidencia de Estados Unidos de América, Barack Obama y Mitt Romney. A continuación, el último debate de los candidatos a la presidencia de Estados Unidos de América, Barack Obama y Mitt Romney. Será analizado por un grupo de ciudadanos indecisos en su voto. El último debate. Transmisión en vivo. A continuación, el último debate de los candidatos